Here are some of perhaps the most ridiculous excuses you've ever heard brought up by defendants at criminal trial. Everyone will probably agree, at least to some extent, that you are innocent until proven guilty. Some people walk free because the jury simply can't find enough evidence to convict them. Some people walk free because the jury are convinced by something the defendants say, but not so much in these cases. So here are some of the most ridiculous excuses ever given. Douglas Knight, he was a convicted criminal, but the judge gave him a chance to better his ways. But he didn't attend his probation appointments, and the excuse that he gave was a badly typed out note purporting to be from his doctor. But when the judge inspected this, became suspicious because of how badly it was typed, then found out that this doctor did not exist. Stephen Snell was stopped and caught in someone's garden. They grabbed him, took him to the ground and put handcuffs on him. He was prosecuted for burglary but denied the offence, but he was convicted anyway. His excuse? He was out for a late night walk, and had he not been stopped, he would have knocked on the door and asked for anything that he wanted. Another defendant coming up with ridiculous excuses whilst committing burglary was Shelley Branson. She was found whilst walking around someone else's house in East Devon. When found by the homeowner, she claimed to have lost her dog. This was only one of a number of excuses that she was using when entering other people's homes, one of which was asking to borrow a bicycle pump, and another asking the homeowners whether they needed any labourers to do some renovation work around the house. Because, you enter someone else's house when you want to do that. I'm just kidding, of course you don't do that. Jamie Wellman was caught whilst stuffing lots of equipment into his car, including power tools, hedge trimmers, a chainsaw, and so on. The police asked what he was doing. He just turned around and said, "I'll see you later then, Nan." And this is, again, just an excuse. The lady had no idea who he was. But this reminds me of another warning that I've given you. If you see two people arguing in a car park, one true story that I've come across is the man who was stealing the car pretended to have an argument with his mum. Of course, it wasn't his mum. He was stealing her car. He just screamed, "Shut up, Mum, I'm driving tonight," and forced her into the car and stole the car with her in it. It turns out that he just wanted to have a lift home, and he dumped her and the car 2.5 miles down the road. Alan Dart was convicted of sex offences against a child. Now, of course, this is no laughing matter, but the jury did find it difficult to contain their laughter when he was struggling to explain how he'd sent all these Facebook messages to the victims in the case. And unsurprisingly, they convicted him. Joseph Mcnally, in a road rage incident, pointed his shotgun out of the window and then tried to blame his dog, but he was described as being remarkably stupid by the judge. Another driver who was disqualified, driving with no insurance, no tax, no MOT, and driving in a car that was just about hanging together by the paintwork, was pulled over by police. But when asked about the condition of the vehicle and the extent of the damage, he blamed it on Mother Nature. And when asked by the police what happened to various parts of the vehicle, he said the wind blew them off. Dylan Taylor was apprehended during a raid on a cash machine, but when asked why his blood was on the cash machine, he claimed that he'd visited the day before and his money got stuck, so he'd reached up inside to try to retrieve his money. For more ridiculous excuses and stories, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.